So here we are, the Rising Locust Farm's mushroom yard. It's Monday. It's normally the day that I harvest, and we have quite a good harvest today. We grow shiitake mushrooms on logs, natural method, and a beautiful patch on the farm. It's forested, it's along the creek, and it's mushrooms growing where mushrooms want to grow. Rising Locust Farm, here we grow lots of trees. We've planted over 2,000 trees in the last 4 years, and a lot of those trees are what we call coppice, which means they get trimmed specifically to resprout. So it just makes sense with our regenerative model to grow mushrooms from some of those logs. So the primary mushroom that we grow here at Rising Locust is the shiitake. Shiitake has been cultivated in Japan mostly for over 1,000 years. It's one of the oldest mushrooms that we know of has human cultivation, and the literal translation is oak mushroom, called so because they grow on oak and other hardwoods. So you see here a stack of hardwood logs that have been inoculated a few years ago. These actually on top here are from last year. So they get holes drilled in them the whole way around, and then we inoculate them with mushroom spawn, or the mycelium. And then when the log, you let them rest, and when the log is fully colonized, it's ready to fruit. So we have the logs separated into 7 different groups. As you see here, we are in the yard. The groups are stacked into groups of 2 stacks per group. And the reason for doing that is because in between fruitings, the mushrooms like to have about 7 weeks of a resting period. So here we have our dunk tank. This is a stock tank that we normally use for the animals in the wintertime when they're in the barnyard. We move them into the dunk tank here, and we soak them for 24 hours. So we take them out of the dunk tank and we lean them going along the 2x4 the whole way back, and 3 to 5 days later they start to fruit. You follow me down here, I'll show you a log that's fruiting. So here, this log was done about 5 days ago. You can see the mushrooms just beginning to form. They're past the pin stage. They're actually forming their mushroom head now. And here we have a log that are mushrooms ready to be picked. So here we have a really good mushroom. This is what we want. We want the margins to still be curved in. It has just opened as of yesterday or this morning. This is a good mushroom right here. So yeah, I go through, and at this point I can just go by feel, knowing if they're open or not. After I harvest, I go through and sort out firsts from seconds. This year we haven't been getting many seconds. And all the seconds we eat here on the farm were dry for winter use. That's the perfect mushroom right there. That's what you're looking for. So the first couple years we started doing this, we were getting a lot of pests. And then I found out through Cornell, which is, they do really excellent work with agroforestry up in New York, and share all their information that they find. They have really good resources for growing mushrooms outdoors, and they have discovered that just using plain old Agribon, which is an agricultural cloth, just covering your mushroom logs with Agribon keeps the pests away. The other portion of our pest control is our ducks and geese. Ducks love slugs. They eat the heck out of them, and slugs are our main pest with mushrooms. The ducks and geese, their coop is about 50 feet away from the mushroom yard, and they have free reign. They range around all day, mostly around the orchard and the mushroom yard, hunting down the pesky little slugs. So outdoor versus indoor growing. Outdoor growing is better for the human growing them, because I get to be outside in the sunlight amongst the birds and the trees. It's also better for the mushroom. The mushroom is growing in the natural conditions it wants to grow in, instead of in a basement or in a building with artificial light and misters, which there's a lot of control on the human end of things, a lot more inputs, a lot more time and energy. Through doing so, these mushrooms taste better. They have more flavor than ones grown indoors. They have better texture for the chefs out there who would really appreciate that. They also have more medicinal qualities. They have more of the available nutrients and medicinal compounds than ones grown indoors. In a society that prioritizes consumption of resources to the detriment of global health, we need a major reawakening. I believe the decomposing and interconnected mushroom could be our greatest teacher in this moment.